And there's Chance.
Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of the Sunday Spin. I'm Vinny G coming at you from the 6-4. This week and every week, the Sunday Spin's brought to you by our fantastic sponsors, Grooves Records in San Francisco, USA. It's Kevin Chanel and the boys. And What's Left Records in the 719, the fantastic Ostro Brothers. A special shout out to our friends that have been joining us from Coast to Coast Entertainment. We really appreciate you making us part of your Sunday. Without further ado, here's my man, G Money. Greno, what's shaking, buddy?
Hey, spring forward, everybody. I hope everyone's on time today, right? Jeez. Great. That's why they do it on Sundays. I don't know if you guys remember when we were all kids. We can probably remember this. It used to be on Sunday nights. And I think a lot of this is pre-internet, cell phone. So people are always late on that day. So they made it. Now it's on Saturday night. So yeah. Spring forward.
Oh, I messed up.
Yeah, exactly, right? And but yeah, just pleased to be here, man. We got Ariel with us today, an awesome musician, friend, Renaissance gal of sorts. She does so many different wonderful things with art and music. We were just so happy to have you, Ariel. How are you?
Oh, thank you. I'm pleased to be here. I am sorry that I had stuff. Recovering from last night, and apparently the hour lost. I didn't realize it already happened.
That's all right. That's all right. Happy spring forward to you, and yeah, rock and roll lifestyle. Were you at the show last night, Fritzy's, or?
Yes, I went and I enjoyed, and I don't remember most of it.
Must have been a really good night, huh?
Oh yeah. For real.
Fantastic.
Really good night. You can always guarantee a good night there, for real.
Definitely. Yeah, we love the folks at Fritzy's and the Triple Nickel. Always playing the great music, great shows. And you've been performing quite a bit there, so we'll get into that maybe a little bit later. But we're just so pleased to have you. It's great to connect the dots. If people don't know, we've been doing some music with you, so we'll get into that. And Vinny, man, why don't you start like we always do from the beginning with our friend
I
Ariel.
Appreciate that, buddy. Typical question, Ariel. First musical memory.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, I don't remember it per se myself, but I'm constantly told my parents love this story. So apparently my favorite bands as a toddler was AC/DC.
As a toddler?
Yes.
Love it. Oh, yes. That's great.
Fabulous. Yes. And did they mention a favorite AC/DC song?
Oh, golly.
Was it War Pigs?
No. Oh, golly.
Wow, that is so fantastic.
Yeah.
No, seriously, a long time ago, I had my two nieces living with me, and my youngest niece would come into my bedroom in the morning and say, "For those about to rock, we salute you."
Yes,
at the age of 2, 3, 4 years old.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I love that you were listening to AC/DC at that younger age. Wish I could say the same.
It was, my parents met in a band. That was kind of my thing. I was born from music, kind of is a saying, so my father's mother was from England, and my father lived in England for a while. So I got a lot of the English rock, early 80s and even the 70s, before, that was what they listened to. That was everything growing up.
A throwback, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, my parents they were listening to the oldies in a sense, but it wasn't really oldies, you know, it was just like the music they loved, and they were sharing that with me, and I man, so honored, and like, wow, thank God my parents listened to good music. You
Right?
know?
It's so important.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If your influences are listening to crap, you know, you've
Yeah,
definitely got
no,
a
I mean,
handicap, right?
yeah. Oh man.
Shout out to moms and pops, right? Good
Yeah,
job.
absolutely.
Yes, I mean, I see that in a lot of pop culture. People dog on their parents. Oh, you listen to this and this or whatever. And I was like, I loved all of it. That was everything I did not. I don't think there was ever a point other than like the 90s where I really listened to radio. Like every radio station I listened to, it was always oldies, always. And then yeah, the 90s were amazing, and then I feel like I got kind of in a way stuck there, but I love those throwbacks. And then the 90s, a lot of the 90s music really threw back to some of the 60s actually.
Yeah.
And a lot of
True.
and I feel like that's so cool to talk about. You know, you start talking about these older bands. My favorite is Shocking Blue. So many bands are thank you.
Yeah. We love Shocking Blue.
Influenced by Shocking Blue.
Yep. It's
It's
true.
amazing, Ariel, because after Greno had mentioned that he had been working with you in the studios, he said, Vinny, you're going to love this gal. Her favorite band is Shocking Blue. First thing he told me right off the bat.
Hey.
I
No,
said,
for
okay, I'm
real.
sold.
There's not a better description though to
No,
identify
there really isn't.
for
Yeah.
Ariel. Yeah.
That is my favorite band. My favorite all-time bands. And apparently the only surviving member is the guitarist at this point. I would very much love to get in touch, like talk to him, send him a postcard.
Ah, there you go.
Send him a postcard. Yeah.
Way to tie it all in on the spin.
Postcard. And just tell him the simplest note. I love your fucking music.
Not
Your
a better way to
music
put it.
influenced me, made my days better.
And the beauty of this day and age with the resources around you, Ariel, is that day may come.
I hope
And I hope it does for you.
I really hope so. I've tried to look him up, and I mean, I understand, you know, people don't want, you know, necessarily be stalked. That's understandable. But back in the day, you know, like they had all these fan mails things, and I'm like, oh man, are any of those still active?
Right.
Sorry,
I'm just PO boxes for
yeah.
in a little yep. Get a little. I remember the Todd Rundgren record. There was
send it to his country, and everybody was just like, "We know who you're talking about. We'll get it
there." Exactly. We'd love to have him on the spin. Maybe we can coax him to be on the spin, because I know he's one of the main songwriters, if not.
Oh yeah, no, he wrote all the music as far as I understand it.
Yeah,
he was the main composer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rob Van Leeuwen. If I'm saying,
yeah, Ewan. It's a longer kind of
If I apologize, I'm probably saying it so wrong.
No, it's all good. It's all good. We're always forgiven on the spin because we talk about music incessantly on this show. We love to talk with people like you that are so passionate, you know, about. I'm curious about the first instrument that you ever picked up.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's a funny story. I actually mentioned this not very many hours ago. So my mother and my father, they met in a band, and I remember being, like 5 years old. I want to say, I was like, I want to play violin. I want to learn violin. That did not happen. So my mother's uncle had he was part of a jazz band, and he owned at one point, him and another man owned a music store, and unfortunately there was very bad things, and he went into real estate after, but he still kept the jazz band going. So my mother's family came from a lot of musicians, and so yeah, I was like, violin, I want to learn violin. And my mother's uncle gave me a melodica.
Yeah.
That's like the fluty piano-y thingy.
Yeah, they're cool.
I kind of felt like it was an insult in a way.
I got you. Yeah.
But more so because I had asthma. Here, let me give you an instrument you have to blow into.
Yeah.
Yeah, barely breathe.
Not ideal, right?
No, not at all. So as a teenager, then I started just grabbing mom's guitars and just started playing mom's guitars. And then mom was like, well, if you're gonna play it, you need to play it. You're playing I'm normally right-handed. She was like, you're playing left-handed. You're not playing it right. You're playing left. And she kept correcting me right-handed. And I thought that was so weird that was how my brain was trying to like, oh, well, I'm right-handed, so this is where I'm kind of almost ambidextrous. I'm not really, but there are things I can do left-handed. So I kind of wonder, like, if I had been able to do that the way I was feeling in my brain, what felt natural, like how differently would I have progressed as a musician, you know? But mom was like, no, you're right-handed. You're supposed to hold it
right.
like that.
Well, and not to mention, further endeavors down the road, getting into keyboard type instruments, pianos, organs, things like that.
I did actually learn a little piano. My grandmother was actually a pianist. She was a nightclub singer, toured the country in the 50s. She actually played at Jack Ruby's club.
Wow.
Yeah. No. It was so funny because she, like, for the whole JFK thing, she was like, that guy's in the mob. But nobody was like, whatever. They were like, whatever. No, it's like, oh yeah, we already know. We know Jack Ruby's part of that shit, But yeah, she was like, she knew it before it was like common knowledge, just because she was in his club. She played there. She knew all the things that was happening.
Wow. I always learn something on the spin. Let me tell you, we're hanging with the blue lady, Ariel. Man, what a treat, man. Spring is just around the corner, you guys, and
so excited for that. I'm ready for that warm weather.
All right, we are.
I bet you are. I bet you are. You have no idea. We're down here. I'm down here in San Diego.
Oh shit!
And everything else, yeah. And down here, things have been blowing up musically. Especially a lot of new female artists.
I'm excited for that.
And adding on to the rich collection of female artists that have made great careers here as well. 719 has always had a remarkable amount of female entertainers, in my opinion. And you're right there with them, in my opinion, Ariel. Your first engagement in the 719, where was that?
Well, so my family, we moved out here from Virginia when I was 16. So I finished high school here and started getting into the music stream. And I want to say somewhere in between the underground and what used to be Industrial Nation was where I started like coming out. I was blown away how many local bands we have here. That was what was like, what? Because coming from Virginia, I mean, I was pretty young teenager. I couldn't go to any places really, but I wasn't really seeing that same thing, at least in that locale where I grew up, and then coming out here, there's teenagers, people younger than me, getting on stage playing music past technically their curfew, I was blown away. I was like, this is amazing.
Only in America, right, Grandma?
Right, yeah.
Oh, I like our special guest. What's the kiddie's name?
Oh, there's Panthro. That was
Yeah.
Panthro running through.
Yeah, we usually don't
My
get
little Thundercat.
too many feline guests on the show, so that's
We
much
might get a few
appreciated.
more.
I know we have a lot of cat lovers out there on the spin, so that's for all you cat lovers too. We got a nice ambience.
I got Mystery on the floor. You can't really see her because I think my name's covering her up. Here, I'll just grab her. Oh. She's like, nope.
Right. Oh yeah, there we go. Yep, there you go.
She's an old
yeah.
lady.
Never a dull moment on the spin. You know, it's good stuff, definitely. So yeah, the scene's changed a lot. You know, it's like any city, small or large. You know, the bands come and go, and the clubs come and go, but there's been a lot of permanence I've seen in this place since, you know, especially, you know, the folks that are booking shows and making music and having their, you know, labels and things that they're doing with music. It's exciting. And you know, a place like that I miss very much, and I know I want you to talk about it because you worked there, and it's probably the thing that links us the most is a club called the Zodiac.
Yes, the Zodiac.
In there in Colorado Springs. If you guys aren't familiar, it was a really
historic
an institution, in my opinion. It was one of the most fun places to spend an evening, and so many different things going on there, and just wonderful times for a number of years. So yeah, thank you to the Zodiac. But take us on a tour of your experiences, Ariel. So many that you had.
As a bartender, formerly of the Zodiac, I can tell you one of the weird cool things. So I remember so many instances where people would tell me, they're like, this is where I go to hide. I thought that was always a funny thing to hear.
Yeah.
This is where I go to hide. We were technically downtown, but we were like right on the edge of the downtown area, you know? So we got that downtown vibe without being mainstream downtown, you know? It's a perfect blend. Perfect location, perfect blend of people.
It was.
And oh man, the staff, the crowd, everything. It was such a great, perfect balance of
top-notch
music, people creating things, having ideas, just doing things. Every day it was just like a magical mystery tour.
Yes.
It was so awesome.
Great description.
Thank you.
Well,
yeah. It was such a great place. I loved it there. Oh man, I'd love to go back in time and go back there, you know. But you can never go back at the same time.
No, you can't.
So
but
much.
It doesn't mean you can't go back and look fondly and say, okay, where do we go from here?
Well, I think
that's always the next nagging question. So I'm just going to flat out ask you, Ariel, what are you doing these days? Where do we go?
So there is the perfect next answer. We have now, so the Triple Nickel and the Zodiac were kind of like brother sister bars.
Yep.
Saying it, not saying it, you know, we had this kinship. We were like the outskirts, the more punk hole in the wall kind of place where people loved to go because they could escape there. They didn't have to be them, you know?
Yeah.
We were all accepting, you know? And so Triple Nickel essentially moved catty corner, and then one of the owners of Zodiac, Gentle Fritz, she has her space now in the lower section. So they have the Triple Nickel and then Fritzy's, which is it's essentially everything you love with Triple Nickel and Zodiac combined.
Yep.
And it's interesting because there's like multi-dimensions, atmospheres happening. Like I went out last night and I'm like, whoa, I walk in and I'm like, oh, Triple Nickel crowd. So it was so busy. It was so packed. I could barely walk in, like just walking in and trying to get to downstairs. But then downstairs, it was like there was barely anybody down there. And the show that was happening down there was so interesting and different from what was happening upstairs. And then there were people that were, you know, going in between, and that's kind of, you know, I'm assuming that's kind of their platform in a way. They want people to mingle.
Yeah.
So yeah, just this intermingling and then this just diversity that's happening. It's so amazing and awesome. So you're kind of getting what we had at Zodiac, but then you're getting in a whole other level at the same time, and literally level. Like
it's like a musical food court. It's amazing sounding. I can't wait to check it out for myself.
Come out, visit. Come out, visit us.
Oh, he will. He'll be on stage.
Well, I don't have to have my arm
performing in the summer. Rumor has it, folks, when Vinny comes to Colorado, we play rock and roll shows. So at least one.
Yes.
And we'll get the mulligans, right, guys? That gives us some inspiration to get this mulligans thing cooking. And but Ariel, don't be so humble, my dear. You have performed so many awesome times at the Zodiac and now at Fritzy's. Like, you kill it, girl. You're doing all kinds of stuff. And so, yeah, like I want, because we've had Andrea on the show before. If you guys remember Andrea Stone, she does the sound now at
my hero.
I know, we adore her. And Andrea, without Andrea and Brian Ostro, wouldn't even be able to
Ostros are amazing.
I know, wouldn't be able to do what we do with the Anonymous Collective in this town. Andrea's done sound for more of my shows with various bands over the last 12 years than any other person. But what I'm curious about is this Beatles tribute that you guys did. I've never seen it, but like, you're two of my favorite people. I'm intrigued about it, and I want to know when you guys are going to do it again.
Oh man, it is rattling in the brain. I would like to bring it back for sure. So, I have a weird connection in a sense. I was essentially conceived right about the time that John Lennon was assassinated. And so from there, like, okay, mom pregnant. So I was originally due on August 5th, which is the anniversary of the death of Marilyn Monroe.
Wow.
Well, I was born 10 days late, making me born on the full moon. So I'm a Leo moon Aquarius. Two interesting people I share that the moon Aquarius aspect, Marilyn Monroe and John Lennon, both moon Aquarius. And then to get even deeper into that, I actually researched John Lennon's astrological stuff after seeing the documentary about him, The U.S. versus John Lennon. If you haven't seen it, really cool, honestly. Like, just seeing that story, like what he went through coming to America, and then the sad part, like it really ends sadly, you know. Obviously, we already know what happened, but so. I was watching that documentary, and there were so many instances he would do these weird little things, like just walking in a room, just doing something weird, you know, and just saying something weird. And then even like his moments where he's talking about human rights and equality and how we should treat each other. I was so many moments. I was like, I've said that. I've thought that. That's me. Like, so I looked up his astrological chart. He is a Libra sun, if I am remembering correctly. I'm not entirely positive. I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. But moon Aquarius, rising Aries, which I have shared with him. And like I was saying earlier, I was like conceived right about the time he was assassinated. So I've always felt this connection to the Beatles in that way. But funny enough, you want to know who my favorite Beatle is? George Harrison.
Nothing funny about that. He's always been my favorite Beatle.
Oh, I love George Harrison.
Can I ask why? Because for me, it was always the spiritualism about him.
I think I made that connection later on, but it was like, I just remember being a little kid, like right around 4 or 5 years old. And that I've got my mind set on you. That song, boom. But other songs too, but that was the one I was like especially remember as a child. But I loved it so much. And then just more and more I learned about him, I was like, he's just an amazing person, human being, like everything, like.
Definitely. And how great, Ariel, that you discovered George Harrison through a very different resource than somebody a generation before would, hence Greta and I.
Another,
but,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, to find him,
I was just
still
gonna
make that
say,
connection and enjoy him.
I was just gonna say
tremendous.
with that, you know, the music video and thing, MTV. If I am not mistaken, MTV launched on my birthday, August 15th, 1981.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it was that day.
I know the year is correct. Boy, it sure sounds correct to me, Greno. I
I'll-
absolutely believe it.
We'll go real time. You guys know I love my stats, so we'll go real time. Yep.
But I do know the first song was "Video Killed the Radio Star" by the Buggles.
That's correct. Well done. Well done. Yeah, and you know, Glenn and I were again, you know, paddling back with our old man oars to Father Time. I remember the day it did take off. Where it
August
came from.
1st, it says.
There was
so close.
Hey, that it's all relative here on the spin.
So close.
You taking us through a history lesson, astrology lesson. This is great. Wonderful stuff.
And how impressed that she's done her homework and knows her history.
I mean, have a good memory.
Never mind the fact that the great taste with Shocking Blue and George Harrison, but knowing your dates and Lennon's Funny Walks and the whole bit. I mean, she's you know, the best kind of throwback.
Oh,
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I just want to mention we have a bunch of comments if we want to take a moment because we do have a bunch of adoring people. And so let's interact a little bit. Thank you guys so much for tuning into The Spin. We got our friend Kevin Chanel. Kevin's the owner of Grooves Records in San Francisco. Kevin, always good to hear from you. We love you, my brother. Let's get you back on soon. We want to get her back.
I love the picture. It's cool.
Right. Absolutely. And then our friend Carlin. Hi, Glenn and Vinny. And then, of course, to you, our dear. Whoa. Hi, Ariel. Good to see you. Happy spring forward is what she was. There it is.
Yes.
Yep. We love you very much, my friend. Yep. Poway High alumni. Wonderful woman. And then our friend David Andrews. Great Glenn and Vince. And then his love to you as well.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
And then our friend Bill as well. Love The Spin. Bill, we love you.
Oh, Bill.
Thank you so much, man, for tuning in. Bill's an awesome dude. 5 Deep, I believe, is the band, right? And from Bill. And representing there from New Mexico.
New Mexico, absolutely.
Appreciate you. Yeah. Shout out to our buddy Lanny as well. We got a lot of friends, in New Mexico and things like that. And we got to get the Mulligans on the road. Let's talk about your experience with the Skinny Mulligans track. We were so honored to have
thank you.
Be a part of that and work with you. And we think we all work well together. What was your experience with doing that song? And did you have a good time?
Oh, I had a great time. I was so nervous coming in. I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I'm like, like suddenly, I was like, oh, no. I'm gonna sing. Okay, I can do this. You
didn't seem nervous at all. No, you were, Vinny. She's a natural. That's the thing. It's like, and that's one thing I want to.
And I wish I could have been there to see it. I mean, what a wonderful story. But boy, it if she was nervous, it sure doesn't show on the record. We tell you that much. So I wasn't there, obviously.
I was gonna say, so a lot of my training, I guess you could say, is like performing arts. So that idea of like, okay, you just go out there and you do it.
Right.
You're backstage like, and then you go up. You know, it's like something just takes over you. You're suddenly in that place and in that moment, and you can't let any of that other shit, like, just put it at the back. Pack it in the back.
Fabulous.
That's a great way to describe it. And I just want to let people know Ariel is an awesome performer. Whether it's she's doing dance, whether she's, whatever music she's doing, she's captivating and she's real. And the best part about it is it's unabandoned. Like, she doesn't care what people think. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in the most positive way. As a fan of your work, as well as collaborating with you, my dear, that's the best part about you. You just go for it. And that fearlessness is something that not just as a female you should celebrate, but just as a human being. And it's just, man, it's an honor to know you and to work with you, my friend. So keep doing it. Like, your reckless abandon and your confidence, it speaks volumes to a lot of people. I think you're an inspiration to a lot of folks.
That makes me happy. I love to be an inspiration. Actually, it's so funny. I remember being in my, I think, early 20s, being like, I wish I could just be a muse. Like, the Greek muses. I want to inspire everybody to make art.
You do.
But yeah, at the same time, so much of my just dance. Oh my gosh, doing dance as a child, ballet. It's so strict. And especially if you have a very good instructor, I would say a good instructor is strict. They're going to
right
every time you do it right.
Right.
It doesn't matter if nobody's watching. It doesn't matter if you're just looking at yourself in the mirror. You strive for perfection. But at the same time, then you get on stage and you're like, you don't worry about that at the same time. Then you brush that off at the same time. But in practice, like, that's kind of been my thing. It's like I strive a lot in my practice, doing my exercises and whatnot, or brushing up on things or techniques or learning weird little whatever, in betweens. And then I do believe a lot of it is that realness. Like, if I make a mistake on stage, a mistake.
That's a great word, a mistake.
A mistake.
Because musicians, we can all relate. How many mistakes we all made,
right? Yeah, but you play it off. You're like, whoop, whoop.
Absolutely.
But every time I'm ever teaching a future performer, I'm sharing the art, I always tell them, I'm like, your face, this is what people are looking at. They are not looking at your feet, most likely. Maybe there are some people that are into that. But,
right.
Most of them are there. This is the engagement right here. They don't know you're messing up unless you are showing it right here. If you're,
body language.
Then they know you made a mistake.
Absolutely. That's a great point. I love that.
It's all in the face.
Definitely.
Fabulous. Did you find Glenn a strict taskmaster in the studio and hard to work
not
with?
at all.
So mean.
No. Like, I got in, I sang it, and I was so nervous. And I was like, okay. And he's like, that's good. That was good. We listened to it, and I was like, oh, wow, it is good. I might add some accent on maybe a couple. And then he was like, okay, well, you want to do another take? Well, yeah. And so then I added in the emphasis that I thought, okay, I'm hearing this, and then I think you actually blended those two tracks, right?
You did. Yeah.
So we got the initial, like, I'm just doing it. And then we got the, okay, and now I'm going to make a correction.
And we've left the dialogue in at the end, which is something I never do, but I was like, it made so much sense, and like people really love that. People really like worked. We've gotten some mini notes too, like some really nice compliments, not only about that track, but that aspect of the production, that loosey-goosey kind of,
Yeah.
you know. And
I
plus,
mean,
hey, girl, it's a preview of things to come. Because
yes.
the thing is, you're just getting started with the Mulligans. Let the
Oh,
world know
there's no
right here
question
on the
about
Sunday
that.
Spin. Just
I'm
getting
all about it.
started.
Yeah. And you know, thank you for joining us and unraveling the biggest Mulligan mystery of the last few months. Who is the Blue Lady?
Yes.
Well, friends and
Well,
family, this is
I'm
the
pretty
Blue Lady.
simple and
We are
pretty
so
messy,
lucky to be
as you
working
can
with her.
see.
No,
I'm a
it's
pretty
great.
mess.
You're in your musician's lair. I see the guitar behind you.
Oh,
Like I
you
said,
can
cats running
take
around.
a whole
It's great.
stack.
Yeah, we're right
Should I
there.
bring out some of my stuff? Would that be a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just stack them kind of behind me.
Awesome. We're hanging out with the Blue Lady, everybody, on the Sunday Spin. We appreciate you guys so much. Everybody that's chimed in, those that tune in every week. The Sunday Spin is really about going into people's houses, as you can see right here, and spending time with them and getting to know their love of music and their love of life. And that's what Vinny and I love so much about the Spin. Vinny, I know you're salivating. Look at these guitars. This guy, Vinny's a guitar guy, so he's
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm already jealous. Absolutely. What a collection.
I know.
And my mandolin.
Oh,
Mandolin.
sweet.
Wow.
Great stuff. I'm glad that you.
If I had actually practiced on this thing, I would bring it out and I'll at least show it here.
Well, next time you come on, we want you to perform either with the Mulligans or because you can knock out great solo stuff too. I've seen you do it. So next time we want to get a one-song performance. Wow. Oh, that's gorgeous.
I got a
Gorgeous.
blue
Look at the
mandolin.
color. Wow.
Is it a melon back or? Oh no, flat back.
I'm
Oh,
sorry?
beautiful.
No,
Oh, it's gorgeous.
it's horribly out of tune. I have not played this thing in years. I'm probably not even storing it correctly, technically. But yeah, no. So funny story. I bought this to learn "Battle of Evermore." I love that song, and yeah, I learned it. It probably take me a good 15-30 minutes refiguring it out at this point because I haven't played in forever on this instrument. But yeah, that was like one of my favorite things to play. Like just the way it screams and the percussion at the same time. It's such a fun instrument. And I have tiny hands. Like I have teeny tiny hands. There was a guy I met doing theater. I was in a production of Cabaret, and this guy that was in he was like, he's also a musician, so he was like, I play violin, and I'm like, wow, really? That's so cool. And he was like, I am jealous of your tiny hands, because he had these huge hands and big fingers, and I could see where he was like, oh yeah, you have these dainty little fingers and but like part of the reason I wanted to learn mandolin was like because it's strung the same way, tuned like a violin. So I figured if I can make this crossover, I can learn these notes. I could get into a violin easy. I'm still not there. My childhood dream. I'm still not there. One day I will have a violin. And
there you go. Keep it. Yeah. Keep
it will probably sound horrible, but I will do it.
Persevere. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, we have
to do it. Yeah.
We got some real time facts that just came across my phone. My mom, who's watching. Hello, Mom. I love you. Great supporter of our music. Vinny knows that very well. Ariel's birthday is August 15th. That was your great grandmother's birthday.
Whoa!
And my cousin Linda.
What?
So yeah, and they, by the way, they're both total rock stars too. My cousin Linda was like on the E Network back in the day. She she was like a newscaster and like a lot of media. So she's a wonderfully gifted person doing all that. And then my great grandmother came to the United States at 13 or 14, Armenian immigrant, and taught she already knew English when she moved here. She was teaching school back in Armenia. And at the time, it was right when the Turks were taking over. So, but anyways, yeah, so they share birthday with the great Ariel. That's wonderful. And Mom, thanks for that too, Mom. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, you're chock full of great information today on the spin.
Unreal.
I feel smarter already.
I do too. Feel great. I just want to give Ariel a chance, like we always do, Vin.
Yeah, very important.
We're having a lot of fun, and I just want to say a lot of folks are sticking around. So thank you guys. We usually go 30 minutes, but Ariel's such an awesome guest. Obviously, they're going to hang out for hours. Yeah. No, I mean, that's what kind of guest you are. But we want to give you an opportunity for shout outs, things like that. I know you've done that throughout the show because you're a very gracious and humble person. But yeah, I want to give you the floor for that. And then, yeah, we'll wrap things up. Do a little disco dance for everybody. We will together, the collective Mulligans. But yeah, we'll give you the floor for that.
Oh, okay. I suddenly don't know what to say.
Well, I mean, you've given a lot of love throughout the show to folks. So that's if you can't think of anyone right now, I mean that's fine.
Okay, here. So you may have noticed my bass.
Yeah.
I dabble. I try. So I'm a guitarist. I definitely learned more guitar, and then learning bass. I play with a pick. I'll just admit that. But I'll first off say I'm also not a bass player. I would never call myself.
Ariel.
I never call myself a bass player. I can play bass, but I would never call myself a bass player. But on that note, I think the most amazing female bassist has got to be Tina Weymouth.
Yeah,
good answer.
And then Tom Tom Club. I was listening to them earlier, and that woman, oh my gosh, what a fucking cool person. Amazing.
What a great answer.
Fantastic.
And
wow.
Just a cool person all around. I love her whole story. She's just a cool person, and then on top of that, like, apparently, as I understand it, as I looked into it, she was not a bass player when she joined Talking Heads. The drummer asked her to join, and I kind of think it was because he already liked her. They ended up getting married.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was like he liked her, and he was like, "Hey, you should be in the band." And she was like, "Okay."
It wouldn't be the first time, right, guys? Or the last, rock and roll.
Yeah, no, like that percussion was so on. The percussion, the bass, the rhythm section was happening. So amazing people, and then just her influences. Like, she's like kind of a little bit disco, but then a lot of funk.
Yeah,
I love that funk and disco.
Yeah,
I actually do. It's so funny. A lot of people wouldn't think that about me, but I have a love for the disco, the funk and disco of the 70s. I really, really love it.
Nothing wrong with
Ariel,
that.
you're in the right place.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people wouldn't think that the Mulligans like 70s funk and disco, but
oh yeah,
guilty confessions on the spin, baby. Right?
That's more than the three-chord wonders, right, G?
So many people will tell me, they're like, "You were born in the wrong era, girl."
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And then I say to them, "I'm back."
Wow, great answer.
That sounds like
back.
That sounds like some lyrics and song ideas in there about this. It's starting to percolate for me right now with the new Mulligans.
Nice.
We're gonna. You guys watch out. This summer we're gonna be coming your way again. But we got one more comment. It looks like from my father, Rocksteady, Vinny and Glenn, the Wolf Band. Yep. So great supporter of our
lady with us, Bob.
Great supporter of my music as well, and not a bad bones player. The guy's a pretty mean percussionist.
Oh,
and
nice.
love music.
Inherited, huh?
What's that?
Inherited, huh?
Yeah. The grandfathers were both jazz musicians.
Oh, nice.
Both on both sides. And then it kind of skipped. I don't say it's totally skipped. My parents love music, but then I'm the rock and roller. So, but I think, my kids play music, so hopefully it's not going to skip that generation. But Ariel, gosh, it's just been such a treat. Vinny and I were looking so forward to having you on, and it's just
such a long time.
Been nothing short of spectacular, my friend, which is what we come to expect with you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ariel. And thank you for the fantastic work on the record. Mulligan love to you, my dear.
Yeah, can't wait to do more. Everyone's really excited about
I'm excited too.
What's next. So, and we'll let people know what the word is. And you do perform a lot, so we'll let people know upcoming performances that you have as well. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
Definitely. Yeah, and if you guys could do us a favor, we would love for you to join us on Technicolor Dreams. Okay, that's our YouTube page. Just gotta subscribe. Takes like 5 seconds. Within you can see killer programming like the Blue Lady, and our next guest next week, who's going to be Nikki Royster, legend of the 64. Yeah, we're celebrating women, but we do it each and every month. So that's like, that's our deal here. And
absolutely. And we get to celebrate the women that we know, we love, and we work with.
Yes.
And that's the coolest part about it.
Oh, man, it's the biggest treat of all time. Definitely. That's the sugar on top right there. The pink sugar fizz.
Yeah, what do we do to deserve this, G? I don't know. But thank you.
With that, then, I want to throw out a shout out to the ultimate rocker female of all time, Ronnie Spector.
Oh, love it. Yes, definitely. Rest in peace.
All the love and beehive to her.
Yes, definitely. I'll throw in Betty Davis, too, on that note.
Oh, yeah.
We lost Betty Davis, the funk rocker. Not that we love Betty Davis, the actress, as well, but the punk rocker that was married to Miles, she passed just last month. So, and then some birthdays too. Katie Ketchum, happy birthday! We love you. Our friend Katie, it's her birthday. Dave Barkley coming up. We love you. Happy birthday! Yeah, it's just nothing but love. Brian Ostro was his birthday last week, and
happy birthday, Brian!
Yes, and you guys come hang out with me. What's Left Records next Saturday. I'm there on the 20th of March, so before our next show. So come on down, hang out. We got a bunch of new records in. Just fantastic stuff. So come hang out with me. I'd love to see you guys.
And don't forget to listen to the Grooveyard tomorrow night with my man Gren on KCOS, right? Best damn internet show there is.
Yes, 6 p.m. And we are playing the Mulligans all the time, Ariel, just so you know.
Okay, cool.
Tell a friend. But yeah, tomorrow it's Anonymous Collective and Friends. So folks from all around the country, our folks, the Upper Middle, Sweet Nothing, Talking Hours. And you know what's kicking off the show tomorrow, Vinny? Pheasant Jug Band Blues. Jug Band, Junkyard Jug Band? What are they called? I just totally butchered that. So I got to get it right. It's Fez Records Junkyard Jug Band.
Junkyard Blues Band or something, yeah.
We're playing them. We got Rough Age, Miles the Master, a bunch of stuff. So yeah, tune in 6 p.m. Mountain, Greno's Grooveyard each and every Monday. And I'd love to have you both on sometime. So we'll talk about that very soon. You guys, spring's right around the corner. Be good to each other. And definitely get out and enjoy that vitamin D sunshine. I know I'm going to go take a walk with the wife right now. We appreciate you guys. Vinny, any last words, my brother, until next week?
Thank you, my man. Thank you, Ariel. It's great to be a Mulligan. God bless you all. Thanks for watching.
Next week, Nikki Royster. You're not going to want to miss it. Legend of the 64. We got a Legend of the 7-1 Ryan right here, and Ariel, the Blue Lady Crawford. All right, we'll see you guys next week. We love you. Peace out.
Good.
Love you. Thank you guys so much. Excellent.